Coming out next is, I know, Bob Morgan, the man in plaid from Every. Nice to see you. Have you guys seen Every Baseball? This application yet? I think you're about to. Right. You doing a live demo or a video?
I will live demo.
All right, will you tell me when you pick up your mic? Or do you want me to give you mine? Tell me what it is you do.
So Every is a news discovery product. We analyze thousands of source feeds of content from around the web and auto-categorize things against literally millions of topics. And tonight we're going to focus on our app that's on specifically for baseball.
This is a publishing system. I mean, it's almost like Flipboard.
Yeah, it's a topic-based approach. So it's indexing content in real time. So we're giving you the latest news against literally millions of topics. We have about 2.5 million topics that we're actively tracking all the time.
But I'm starting it now, and your first app is baseball.
Yeah,
and there's your mic right there.
Thanks.
Just
so
rip it up.
The app we're showing tonight is EvriThing Baseball. Let me just get this lined up here.
I can go
in a little
zoom
bit.
in. Oh, too much. There you go.
All right.
So EvriThing Baseball is real-time baseball information.
Yeah, so we've got all the news from across the web for baseball in this specific application. And so it starts with, for the user, a list of channels. So you're able to get...
I'm trying to focus
zoom that in.
Yeah, zoom it in.
So you're able to get the general baseball news. You can get latest scores and standings from around the league. And then there's channels for, as you might expect, every team in Major League Baseball.
There you go.
And so if we select, for instance, locally here, we've got the San
World
Francisco
Series
Giants.
Champions.
You get a nice multimedia stream of headlines, of latest news. There's photos from Getty, usually action from the last game. And then we pull in tweets for the team, so you're able to easily slide through. And if you see a story that's interesting, maybe you want to read about Barry Zito's return from Bleacher Report.
Yeah, you were telling me you could track people's injuries.
Yeah, so you can do some other things where we have a really nice system for channels that are really dynamic. So we can do things like, give me all the trade talk for Major League Baseball. And so we have a channel specifically that automatically looks for mentions of trades, promotions, demotions around the league and surfaces that content automatically.
Yeah, so this differs from other sports apps because it's real time is what you said.
It's
right?
Partly that it's real time, but also I think the breadth of coverage. So if you've got really an affinity for a team that you love and you just want information, or you're tracking a fantasy team and you want just broad coverage, make sure you're not missing anything, and you've got rabid sports fans, this is really a great way to do it. There just isn't another app that has this kind of breadth of coverage that's as timely.
What's the magic sauce here?
Yeah, so the system underneath it is, it's a semantic platform, meaning it's doing natural language processing against these thousands of source feeds of content, and it's reconciling that against a knowledge base of, I mentioned, about 2.5 million topics of things that occur in the news, people, places, and things. And it's the confluence of those two things where we can see the mentions from credible sources about, if it's this Lady Gaga character is getting lots of mentions, or this Alex Rodriguez baseball player something's happening, it's hot right now, we're able to notice that.
Everyone's talking about Byte.
And service it.
Yeah,
so Byte, pretty soon it's going to be hot. So that's actually an interesting thing. We're coming up soon. We're going to take a step up from these topic-based apps like baseball to a general news reader, where you'll be able to find and follow content on all your favorite topics, so you can totally dial it in and personalize it.
You were saying that tech news.
Yeah, anything.
You mentioned
really.
like rock.
Yeah, so we can do tech if you're into gossip, lifestyle stuff, if you want to see the latest news on the launch of new news products like Byte.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll be there.
There's a lot to be seen there. So
yeah,
you've got
like a little co-promotion.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No
so you've got an API that's available?
Yeah, we do. If there are developers that are interested in working with us to add trending news to their applications, we do have an API. We've just done things like a plugin with Seismic. So next to your
that's cool.
tweets and Facebook updates or other plugins you have for them, you can get all the news in your favorite topics. So there's some really nice instances of partnerships where we've done this.
All right, so you've got 2:45 left. Any questions out there for him on his platform? I knew somebody would.
Yeah. What are your concerns about MLB.com? Major League Baseball is notoriously religious, and you're basically tying it into their religion.
What are your concerns about Major League Baseball.com, because they're notoriously litigious, which is true?
Yeah, so we've actually gone through quite a rigid process in the launch of the application. Everything here is, it's effectively a search engine underneath. So it's, you'll see if we go into the application that everything in the stream is really just a very quick blurb, giving credit to the source, links directly to the source content. So we've had a look at, and talking both with Apple.
So you're not scraping.
No,
you're
there's no
doing
content scraping
linking.
or sort of misrepresenting anything about representing Major League Baseball. So we've been through the process with Apple, been in market for 6 months. And again, it's effectively fair use, just like a search engine in surfacing. It's just we're focused on news.
Yeah, that was Byte's Jonathan Hershen with that question. It was a good question because Flipboard and these other people face the same question.
Yeah, a lot of news aggregators have certainly run into this issue, whether they're scraping or just didn't talk to publishers. And with the approach we're taking with our iPad app is make sure we're out talking to all the publishers. So we have actually some really nice programs in working with publishers. And if you're interested to sign up for that app that's going to ship in about a month's time, you can go every.com/iPad, and there's a mailing list you can sign up for to check out that
All right,
app.
so you got a minute 15. I don't see another question. I do see a question.
The MLB app gives you real-time game information, right? You go to the MLB scoreboard, Giants and Marlins.
Sure.
So you use it back, who's pitching,
All right.
and even who's on base, what bases are up.
Yeah, that's right.
So how do you compare to the MLP app, which does real time? And I'm repeating that for the internet stream, folks.
So in addition to the headline news, we do have, at the moment, what we have is a scoreboard, so you can get all the latest scores.
So you're saying you can do everything they can do, but better?
No, it's. I'm not necessarily saying that.
What
but
are
you
you
certainly have scores. You have the standings, and then the update that's coming in a couple of weeks. We'll have progressive feeds, so you'll get play-by-play, box scores, game recaps. Yeah. So if you download this app now, you'll get the update in a couple of weeks. That'll have much more extensive statistical information and the progressive feeds, so you can get in-game summaries of things.
All right. Another question out there? Anyone quick?
So we have support for iOS and Android, and that'll probably be the extent of it for these topic-based apps. The general news reader will start with iPad, and then we'll move over to Android tablets probably before the end of the year.
Yeah. Nothing for the Dell tablet or the Streak or anything like that.
announce
Nothing for Windows
today.
Phone 7. Funny how that works.
TBD.
I'll take one more question because of the audience interest. There was the one right back there.
Yeah.
From a developer point of view, what are you using on the back end for your aggregation software? What's the back end software?
So everything we built is proprietary. So the general components are, as I mentioned, there's a natural language processing system. That's all proprietary. The knowledge base of structured data, so we're able to do, disambiguation of things. So we know Paul Simon, politician versus Paul Simon, musician. We're able to do that sort of thing dynamically. That's all proprietary. So there's a lot of work that's been done to the platform. It's been built in-house.
All right, thank you very much. You did it.
All right, Gina,
in
thanks a lot.
6 minutes, I really appreciate it. It was nice seeing the man in plaid. The product is called Every. I'll have a list on Byte Unplugged before Byte comes up of all these app makers, and I'm sure Seth's folks will have it at sfappshow.com.